Chapter 40. Duguyan, is the generational hierarchy messed up? A petty thief? If a thief were truly that bold, I'd wipe out his whole family. Dugu walked with a light step. The recent surge in his strength had revitalized him. He looked hale and vigorous, more like a middle-aged man in his prime than the old man he'd been. With that air about him, he and Chu Chen chatted easily all the way back to Heaven Do City. I heard you had a run-in with the current Prince Xiaogang? Dugu asked as they stepped into the city, his tone a little curious. He leaned on his princely status to bully others. I just gave him a lesson for them. It wasn't a conflict so much as discipline, Chu Chen replied coolly. He had noticed Xiaobang's disguise didn't quite fit. The way Xiaobang had acted toward Yelingling felt more like his real temperament than a cultivated playboy mask. The imperial family's affairs are convoluted. Since you've made an enemy of Xiaobang, it's wiser to keep your distance, Dugu said with a faint smile. He didn't tell Chu Chen everything. He only had a vague inkling about Xiaobang's disguise and sensed complications in the Heaven Do imperial family, but as an outsider, he preferred not to get involved. Trouble breeds trouble. I'm naturally too lazy about imperial matters, he added. Chu Chen shrugged. He didn't want to dive deeper either, even though he now knew Shui Qinghe was actually Qian Renshui in disguise. Dugu finally relaxed. The two of them walked to the Heaven Do Royal Academy, and naturally conversation turned to the academy. Since Chu Chen had joined the Huangdo team, his contact with the academy had been limited. The academy couldn't control him. An academy like this has an excellent environment for mimicry cultivation, but because it only accepts nobles, it's become a little warped, Chu Chen remarked leisurely. How old are you again? Acting like such a little adult, Dugu teased, half laughing. Soon they found Teacher Qinming guiding Duguyan, Ye Lingling, and the others in cultivation. When Chu Chen returned, Teacher Qinming stepped forward and smiled at Dugu. Senior Dugu, thank you for looking after Chu Chen. This kid helped me a lot. I can't really say I watched over him. Dugu waved his hand, then turned to Chu Chen. All right, little one, I've brought you back. I'll be in Heaven Do City for a while. Come find me if you need anything. Seeing Duguyan immersed in cultivation, Dugu didn't disturb her and chose to wait nearby. He was clearly eager for Duguyan to see his rejuvenated appearance. Before others, he might be the fearsome poison Douluo, but to Duguyan, he was a doting grandfather with a touch of tsundere. This old poison can't help but show off, Chu Chen joked. After exchanging a few words with Teacher Qinming, Chu Chen sat down close by. A short while later, Duguyan, Ye Lingling, and the others finished their cultivation. Duguyan lit up at the sight of Dugu. Grandpa, how did you get so young? Dugu explained what had happened, and Duguyan hurried over to Chu Chen and Ye Lingling, grateful. Chu Chen, thank you for curing my grandpa. I'm brothers with your grandpa now, right, old poison? Chu Chen called out with a grin, waving at Dugu. Old poison. The name dropped like a bomb. The other students went pale. Calling Dugu that in normal circumstances would have been asking for trouble. He had a peculiar temperament. Anyone who teased him usually regretted it. Yet here they were, the two of them joking like close kin. That's right, this brat Chu Chen is my brother, Dugu laughed, pretending to scold him. Teacher Qinming's mouth twitched. How did these two become so close so quickly? He couldn't help but admire Chu Chen, to be friends with the eccentric clanth. Titled Douluo Dugu was no small feat. Duguyan, meanwhile, was a picture of bewilderment. No, wait, my teammate is my grandpa's brother? What kind of nonsense is this? Grandpa, what are you getting us into? She huffed at Dugu. The generational hierarchy was completely scrambled. Did this mean she had to call Chu Chen senior? Chu Chen, how did you get so close to senior poison Douluo? Ye Lingling asked softly, giving Chu Chen's arm a light squeeze. I helped him sort out some troublesome matters, Chu Chen replied simply. Ye Lingling nodded, slightly dazed. She couldn't quite fathom why a titled Douluo would need a spirit ancestor's help. After some more joking, it grew late and everyone ended their cultivation for the day. For Chu Chen, the priority was clear. Consolidate his gains and then push toward Spirit King. Chu Chen and Ye Lingling strolled through the academy at night. The stars were brilliant. A river of light stretched across the sky, magnificent and calm. So that's how it is. I didn't expect the poisoned Douluo himself to have been poisoned, Ye Lingling murmured, her small mouth forming an O of surprise. Cultivation always has its risks, Chu Chen said. It's not unusual. After escorting Ye Lingling back to her residence, Chu Chen took to the night sky and headed for the Heaven Do City Great Spirit Arena. With his current strength, he believed he could handle Spirit King-level death matches. When Chu Chen appeared at the Great Spirit Arena wearing his familiar outfit, he immediately drew a crowd. Destruction, who had been absent a few days, had returned. Everyone suspected there would be another brutal deathmatch tonight. Having grown used to flashy spirit abilities, many of the spectators had come to miss Chu Chen's raw, physical fighting style. Contestant Destruction, are you sure you want to enter a level 50 deathmatch? The registrar stammered, incredulous. He hadn't expected such audacity. Chu Chen was only a spirit ancestor, yet he wanted to challenge a spirit king. I'm sure, Chu Chen replied firmly. The registrar was only responsible for entries. Life and death were not his concern. What mattered was the arena's draw. A match pitting Destruction against a spirit king would bring a massive crowd. Word spread through Heaven Do City in an instant. The spectator stands filled fast. Several notable figures arrived after hearing the news, including Douluo, Shui Qinghe, and members of the Blazing Academy. He's the one who killed our Xiaogang. A young man from the Blazing Academy growled, his voice thick with killing intent. It's him, no mistake. After staking this place out for days, we've finally got our chance. The other girl from Blazing Academy spoke coldly. She looked up at the man beside her. His features bore a faint resemblance to hers and asked, how are the arrangements going? Relax. The Great Spirit Arena only cares about profit. With a few greased palms and some planted reports, fabricating an opponent won't be a problem. The man sneered as he watched Chu Chen standing on the arena stage, revenge burning in his eyes. Is Feng Kuang capable of it? Someone else asked. He's considered one of Godwind Academy's rare geniuses. He just reached level 61. Dealing with a spirit ancestor would be child's play. We only need him to hold back and not use his 6th spirit ability. The girl remained indifferent. The Feng Kuang they had arranged was Chu Chen's opponent tonight. Although the arena profile listed him as level 55, in truth he had reached level 61. Chu Chen had no idea. He stood under the brim of his hat, watching Feng Kuang. The match had officially begun. The name Destruction had already echoed throughout the Great Spirit Arena, indeed all of Heaven Do City. Brother Destruction has been missing for days, and now he shows up again. To think he'd challenge a Spirit King-level opponent. In the VIP box, Shui Qinghe sat gracefully with a faint smile as he observed Chu Chen. Douluo, however, wore a strange expression. This kid, he muttered. I thought he was up to something sneaky. Turns out he came to fight death matches. I heard the name Destruction a few days ago, but I didn't expect it to be him. Douluo recalled the surging aura of Chu Chen's second spirit and smiled. Destruction was a fitting name, but his opponent is odd. He furrowed his brow as he watched Feng Kuang. Something about the man's spirit power felt off. Two figures appeared beside Shui Qinghe. One lowered his voice. Young Lord, this Destruction's opponent is strange. He's suppressing his spirit power. What? Shui Qinghe's expression tightened as he looked toward Feng Kuang. This man should have the strength of a spirit emperor, but is deliberately hiding it. I'm afraid he's specifically come for your friend. Shui Qinghe grew solemn. He rose and watched the match more closely. Uncle Shi, go check it out. Yes. On the arena stage, Chu Chen's spirit power erupted. As before, he did not reveal any spirit abilities. He had no intention of using them. Destruction, Feng Kuang called. I watched your match a few days ago. You're arrogant. Today your arrogance ends. Feng Kuang condensed his power, and fierce winds swept the arena. He released his spirit, a majestic eagle shrouded in raging gales. A wind eagle spirit? Chu Chen made a teasing gesture toward Feng Kuang. Since Feng Kuang had clearly come to kill him, Chu Chen only needed to worry that the man wouldn't use his 6th spirit ability. Feng Kuang blurred forward with afterimages, closing on Chu Chen. Spirit power condensed into a pair of wind wings behind him, vibrating with a cutting cold. First spirit ability, Gale Sweep. Gale after gale of wind blades converged on Chu Chen, forming an eye of the storm to restrict his movement. Chu Chen condensed his spirit power and, without relying on any named spirit abilities, rushed the attack head-on. Golden life energy condensed and exploded from his hands, tearing a path through the winds. He closed the distance to Feng Kuang, striking with hands and feet full of killing intent. Feng Kuang used his aerial advantage, and the two locked into a fierce exchange. The clash forced Chu Chen back a few steps. An invisible shockwave of spirit power struck Feng Kuang from a tricky angle, and the latter seized the opening to pull away and unleash his third spirit ability, Wind Eagle Lock. Chu Chen felt a hawk-like gaze settle on him, as if he had been marked prey. Wind blades condensed layer upon layer and slashed toward him. With his current speed, it wasn't difficult to evade, and he danced through the barrage with unique footwork. This guy's spirit power isn't what the arena claimed, Chu Chen thought. He also sensed the anomaly. A cold flash crossed his eyes as he condensed a streak of blackish-purple lightning in his hand, radiating a destructive aura. High in the VIP box, Douluo's heart stirred. That aura, it's the destructive aura of his second spirit. He must have noticed the deception. Douluo felt somewhat relieved. Chu Chen's second spirit was overwhelmingly fierce. His switch from ultimate life to ultimate destruction proved he'd seen through Feng Kuang's true strength. With a level 49 spirit power, Chu Chen could very well stand against this disguised opponent. Chu Chen clenched his fist. One punch erupted with overbearing blackish-purple lightning, shredding the wild winds. He used that force to reverse the direction of the wind blades, knocking them aside, then leaped into the air and launched wide, sweeping blows. Destructive fist intent condensed into radiant fist light. The fist light screamed through the air. Chu Chen took advantage of the brief aerial window to trade blows with Feng Kuang. The latter spread his wind wings, intending to retreat, but was taken aback by Chu Chen's speed. Instinctively, Feng Kuang struck with an open palm. The strike carried the faint cry of an eagle, his fingers curved like claws, swirling with gales aimed at Chu Chen's throat. When fist met claw, Feng Kuang's face changed. Chu Chen's punch shattered Feng Kuang's condensed spirit defense in an instant, crushing his fingers. Chu Chen's physical strength was extraordinary. Crack! Feng Kuang howled in pain. In desperation, he unleashed all of his suppressed spirit power at once, forcing Chu Chen back and then retreating quickly. Chu Chen landed and hid the blackish-purple lightning in his palm so bystanders couldn't identify it. A spirit emperor, then? Chu Chen thought. He had tested Feng Kuang and harbored a faint suspicion. Someone was targeting him. A spirit emperor, disguising his strength, was clearly there to kill him. Feng Kuang's expression was grim. He had been forced to reveal his true power in that moment of desperation, and Chu Chen had noticed. That only amplified the killing intent burning in Feng Kuang's heart. Chapter 42. Killing Feng Kuang and Pursuing the Blazing Fire Academy and Others. Since he found out, I have to kill him quickly and silence him forever. Feng Kuang spread his wings, and the pair behind him widened. A gale swirled around him, erupting with an intense, piercing green light that wrapped his whole body. Fifth spirit ability, Furious Tornado. The wind eagle screamed and beat its wings, summoning a storm that converged into a massive tornado. It dominated the entire deathmatch stage and threatened to sweep into the stands. Thankfully, the Great Spirit Arena's defense mechanisms activated and an energy barrier sealed the arena, keeping the attack contained. The giant tornado slammed toward Chu Chen like a ravenous beast, the wind blades eager to shred him to pieces. Feng Kuang hovered in the storm, his attacks a flurry of afterimages, each strike laced with unambiguous killing intent. The razor-sharp wind blades would have torn open the flesh of an ordinary spirit king in an instant. The gap between realms for a spirit master was not a small thing. Destruction! Die! Madness curled Feng Kuang's voice as he dove to crush Chu Chen. Outside the barrier, the audience could no longer see what was happening between the two. All they could do was wait and pray the hurricane would end soon. Chu Chen remained utterly calm. Black-purple lightning condensed around his hand, and the will of destruction swirled about his form. He raised his palm. A shadow of a dragon coalesced, and a roaring cry reverberated through the arena. Within the green hurricane, a flash of black-purple light erupted. Under dozens of stunned gazes, the terrifying storm simply disintegrated, blasted apart by Chu Chen's strike. Feng Kuang crashed to the ground, staring in disbelief at Chu Chen, who stood unscathed save for a few torn patches in his robe. "How is this possible?" Feng Kuang bellowed. "The Blazing Academy sent you, didn't they?" The corrosive will of destruction that had been around Chu Chen faded, replaced by a familiar, life-filled aura. With this immortal, indestructible life energy, even if Chu Chen relied only on his physical body, he would be nearly impossible to harm. His life source towered within him, forging an almost living defense. Chu Chen's figure blurred as he closed the distance and struck. A merciless punch sent Feng Kuang flying. In that desperate instant, Feng Kuang unleashed everything he had been holding back. The pressure of a spirit emperor burst from him, and the crowd's faces shifted. This was no spirit king. Sixth, Feng Kuang's cry cut off. Chu Chen gave him no second chance. The earlier corrosive assault had already eaten into Feng Kuang's body. Chu Chen wouldn't let him activate his sixth spirit ability. He seized Feng Kuang's head with one hand and slammed it into the stage. The hard surface cracked under the force. Blood spurted from Feng Kuang's skull. Boom, boom! Chu Chen struck the man's head against the ground 3 times before finally kicking him away. Half of Feng Kuang's body exploded outward. The mangled half smashed into the glass of the observation box where the Blazing Academy contingent had been watching. Chu Chen had found their position, and he had no intention of being polite. The match ended. Chu Chen walked off the stage with the same unruffled calm he always wore. A death match had never been so brutally final. Many in the crowd shivered. This man called Destruction was ruthlessly efficient. What kind of arena is this? The contestant labeled a Spirit King just beat a Spirit Emperor, someone shouted. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Even in a death match, matching a Spirit Ancestor against a Spirit Emperor is irresponsible. Where's the organizer? Come out and explain, or I'll expose you. The crowd began to roar. Death matches had no rules, and life or death was part of the spectacle, but blatant behind-the-scenes manipulation that paired opponents with such a vast disparity in strength was intolerable. In the stands, Douluo smiled with relief and stood to leave. That kid was dangerous, he murmured. Night had fallen over Heavendew City. On a quiet street, the Blazing Academy group hurried away from the arena the moment Feng Kuang was killed. Feng Kuang, useless trash! How are we supposed to explain this to Feng Xiaogang? Huo Wu fumed. She and the young man beside her, Huo Wushuang, had escaped the arena but now faced the fallout. Godwind Academy would hold them accountable. Excuses would be hard to find. Everyone, where are you going? A voice asked from the darkness at the end of the street. Chu Chen stepped out, his cold gaze locking onto the Blazing Academy group. A chill ran through them. Every footstep froze as the threat became tangible. We left the deathmatch stage. Life and death were left to fate. Will you still go looking for trouble now that we're off stage? Chu Chen asked. Huo Wu narrowed her eyes. She knew better than to underestimate Chu Chen's strength, but off the stage she wasn't sure he'd attack so many people at once. Looking for trouble? You mean you set a trap to kill me, and now because you survived you call it fate? Chu Chen smirked. A golden light flared beneath his black robe. The blue-silver emperor, a blade of condensed life force, sliced through space like the crack of thunder and drove straight through the chest of the person standing next to Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang. Even if I wanted to look for trouble, what could you do about it? Chu Chen said casually. After a single casual kill, he advanced on Huo Wu and the others. He had been used to hiding his strength, but when people tried to murder him, he wasn't about to swallow his anger. You were the first to strike at our Blazing Academy, Huo Wu hissed. Several of her companions gathered their spirit power and released their own spirits, preparing to strike. Chu Chen laughed, disdain clear in his smile. Funny, you just said a minute ago that life and death are up to fate, didn't you? Without another word, he unleashed the blue-silver emperor again. In the gloom, it was a streak of gold, and once more, a body crumpled with a clean, deadly precision. The current sharpness of the blade came from Chu Chen condensing his life force into pure cutting power, proof that when you push your attributes to the extreme, your offense, defense, and vitality all rise together. Huo Wu and her companions never had a chance. Seeing Chu Chen kill the two of them without mercy, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang both realized the truth. This man truly was a devil king. How could someone who could fight on the life and death stage without using a single spirit ability be cowed by their threats? And likely not one of them could match him. How dare you kill someone from our blazing academy? Boy, you must be tired of living, Huo Wu snapped. At that moment, an old man appeared beside her. Elder Huo Wu, regaining her former arrogance, pointed at Chu Chen. Elder Huo, he killed Brother Xiaogang, and he just killed 2 more of our people. Elder Huo lifted his eyes, and an invisible pressure rolled out from him. With his hands behind his back, 7 spirit rings bloomed around him. Seems your blazing academy is nothing but a pack of cowards, he sneered. Chu Chen quietly gathered the life force surging within him. Even against a spirit saint, he felt no fear. His only worry was whether such a fight in Heaven Dew City would draw unwanted attention. Elder Huo continued disdainfully. Boy, I'll give you a chance to cripple your own spirit. Do that, and I might spare your life. Noisy. Killing intent flared in Chu Chen's eyes. Then, with a thunderous force, a terrifyingly vast spirit power crashed down from the air. In an instant, it slammed Elder Huo and the Blazing Academy group into the ground with a sharp crack of bone. Elder Huo howled as both his kneecaps were shattered. Dugubo stepped forward from behind Chu Chen. With each spirit ring he released, the very space seemed to freeze. Titled, Douluo. Elder Huo trembled. Huo Wu and the others were petrified. They had no idea Chu Chen had a titled Douluo backing him. One titled Douluo was enough to wipe out their academy. What were they doing? Tempting death? Dugubo walked to Chu Chen's side and asked, Are you all right? Just killed 2 people. My hands are still warm, Chu Chen replied lightly. Not bad. You've got a bit of my old style. Leave the rest to me. Dugubo nodded and then strode over to Elder Huo. The old man's eyes widened as he recognized Dugubo. Poison Duo Senior, my lord. This must be a mistake. A mistake. A mistake. Dugubo's voice chilled. I may be old, but my ears still work. Did I hear you ask my brother to cripple his own spirit? In an instant, Dugubo had returned to the cold-blooded persona that made everyone tremble. He looked down at the kneeling, shattered Elder Huo and spoke casually. Do it yourself, otherwise I won't hesitate to wipe out your blazing academy. No. Elder Huo shook his head frantically. He had cultivated for decades to reach the hard-won strength of a spirit saint. To cripple his own spirit, he would rather die. No, asking me to cripple my spirit is worse than killing me. He screamed. As soon as the words left his mouth, his body exploded, flesh and blood spraying across Huo Wu, Huo Wushuang, and the others. As you wish, Dugubo said, then turned and left, unconcerned with the terrified survivors. Against the crushing presence of a titled Douluo, what could they do? They couldn't even raise their heads. Elder Huo's gruesome end shattered whatever pride they had left. Back at Chu Chen's side, Dugubo whispered, Do you want to kill all of them? These few are nothing, but the Great Spirit Arena has already exposed that Blazing Academy bribed them. If the entire younger generation of Blazing Academy disappears, the Empire will demand an investigation. Your identity as destruction will come under suspicion. If they start digging. Before Dugubo could finish, Chu Chen summoned the Blue-Silver Emperor. It burst up from the ground and pierced straight through the bodies of Huo Wu and the others. They died instantly. With his power now, it was an effortless job. Old Poison, people say you're ruthless. Why today, when it's just a few kills, do you have to consult me? Chu Chen shrugged and left with Dugubo. Dugubo was stunned for a moment, then laughed. This kid's ruthlessness is oddly like mine. He laughed again and conjured a cloud of jade phosphorus snake emperor poison. Before long, the corpses had dissolved into a pool of pus. You really are decisive. On the way back, Dugubo teased. They wanted to kill me. Letting them live would have been absurd. Better they're gone than they bring trouble later. Chu Chen didn't bother arguing. Killing those few meant little to him. Hiding his strength didn't mean his willingness to kill had disappeared. Brother Destruction. A familiar voice called ahead. Chu Chen and Dugubo stopped and saw Shui Qinghe approaching. He smiled gently at Chu Chen. Brother Destruction, are you all right? Brother Qinghe, I took some internal injuries, but nothing serious, Chu Chen answered. Dugubo blinked. He'd thought Chu Chen had said he didn't want anything to do with imperial matters. How was he so close to the crown prince? Shui Qinghe stepped forward and bowed to Dugu Bo. Senior Dugu, it's an honor to see you again. Your Highness must be joking. You are the crown prince and I am an idle man. How could I call this an honor? Dugu Bo waved him off. Seeing how familiar Chu Chen and Shui Qinghe were, he didn't press the matter. Since you two are reunited, I won't intrude. You chat. Senior Dugu, see you next time, Shui Qinghe said with a smile. Though puzzled, Dugu Bo vanished ahead in a few brisk strides. Brother Destruction, Shui Qinghe continued as they walked. We haven't seen each other in days. I heard you returned for a death match tonight and came looking for you. I didn't expect to run into this. How are your injuries? I can have palace physicians treat you. The concern in Shui Qinghe's voice sounded sincere. Even if there might be other motives, the worry was real. Shui Qinghe, or rather Qian Renshui, truly regarded Chu Chen as a close friend. After all, how could a spirit ancestor kill a spirit emperor without paying a price? The hall was full. Lantern light pooled across lacquered floors and carved pillars, flickering over faces that were mostly friendly, some curious, a few openly hostile. Dugu Bo sat at the head table with steady composure, his back straight, his expression giving nothing away. Beside him, Xiao Wu, quiet as always, kept her gaze low, hands folded in her lap. The murmurs that had followed her since she arrived had not ceased, but neither had they grown louder. Until Xiaogang rose. Xiaogang had been building to this moment for weeks. He swept from his seat with exaggerated dignity, voice ringing the hall. Your Highness, I must speak. That woman, Xiao Wu, has been lying to this court. I have evidence that exposes her for what she truly is. A ripple went through the crowd. Someone tittered. Dugu Bo's eyebrow lifted the faintest degree. Xiao Wu's hands tightened, but she did not stand. Her voice, when it came, was quiet and even. State the charge. You both might have expected grand claims, treachery, theft, false identity. Instead, you unfolded a small, ornate box and snapped it open with a flourish. Inside lay a scrap of parchment and a silk handkerchief embroidered with a pattern that had no business in their province, the twin cranes of the Yu household. A piece of correspondence, you announced, and this handkerchief, was found in her quarters. It proves she has been in secret contact with the Yu family. There are messages. Surely no impartial man can mistake these for chance. He let the words hang. Some of the nobles around him shifted, eyes darting toward Xiao Wu. A low hum of disapproval met her like a gust. Dugu Bo's voice, when he spoke, was gentle but carried through the room. Bring them forward. Yu grinned as two of his men stepped up and placed the box on the table. He lifted the parchment like a judge about to hand down a sentence. Xiao Wu stood then. She stepped forward slowly, each movement measured. The hall quieted. You dare accuse me with planted trinkets? She said, voice steel beneath silk. Those belong to my foster mother. She was once welcomed at the Yu residence. The handkerchief was hers. She traded with the servant girls. It is not a sign of treachery. A soft, skeptical laugh escaped from the gallery. Yu Xiaogang's face reddened. Stitched with the Yu cranes, he snapped. No common servant would dare. Dugu Bo cut him off with a look that had hungry calm in it. Yu Xiaogang, he said slowly. You say this proves contact. Do you have more? Yu's hands trembled, the tremor of someone who had set everything on a single card. I do. He pulled out another scrap, a pressed flower tucked inside a folded note, a message addressed to her by name. Silence tightened like a drum. Everyone leaned forward. Xiao Wu's gaze flicked to the scrap, and with a small, composed motion, she reached out and took it. Her fingers brushed the delicate paper, and to the surprise of the entire room, she murmured a name. Soft, intimate, and filled with a pain that had made her chest go tight the night it happened. Shanner. The name landed like a stone. Dugu Bo's eyes sharpened as if struck. The air seemed to narrow. Yu Xiaogang's smile faltered. Dugu Bo rose as if some unseen hand had compelled him. He walked to the table and took the scrap from Xiao Wu's fingers. He unfolded it, squinted, then caught the writing and read aloud, each syllable a blade. Shanner, my heart will follow you even through exile. A hush closed in the hall. Faces whitened. Some remembered stories, old rumors about a missing daughter from a household once allied to the Dugu clan. Others felt the prickle of recognition but could not name it. Dugu Bo turned his head, eyes finally settling on Xiao Wu with a likeness dawning across his face like sunrise. The corner of his mouth moved as if to suppress a smile, but it did not reach his eyes. "Shaner," he said softly, voice not for the crowd but for her alone. "Xiaoshan, is it truly you?" The hall made no sound. People stared, unsure whether they had heard correctly. Yu Xiaogang's face burned with embarrassment. His earlier bravado had collapsed into confusion. Xiao Wu's composure snapped like a brittle branch. The woman who had weathered suspicion and ridicule in silence now folded her hands to her chest and let out a small, pleading laugh that trembled with relief and grief. "My lord," she said, bowing so low her forehead nearly kissed the floor. "You remembered." Douluo's long shadow fell over her. He cupped her chin with a single, decisive hand and lifted her face. For the first time, the hall saw the woman's features in full light. Scar at the temple hidden by hair, a crescent-shaped birthmark behind the ear. He leaned closer, as if verifying a forgotten scent. The rumors that had fed Yu's attack turned on him. Whispers escalated into outright conversation. The Douluo missing daughter, presumed lost years ago, the heirloom token those few who'd known it could never forget. Men in the back muttered of old debts and of favors owed. Yu Xiaogang's argument, spun from scraps and assumptions, tasted of a man who had tried to seize a throne with a counterfeit crown. "You have been slandering her," Douluo said, his voice low and hard now, intended for everyone. "You dragged her name into the dirt with lies and staged evidence to ruin her. For what? For some petty gain at the expense of a woman who has endured enough." Yu's face flushed. "My lord." Silence. Douluo's palm struck the table with a soft, final clap that quieted those nearest at once. He stood fully, filling the space with the height and authority of a man who had learned patience and wanted to see how deep a lie would go before he put it to light. "You will explain," he said to Yu, "and you will do so where everyone can hear the truth." A murmur rose. Yu had no choice but to answer. He stumbled, tried to reconstruct his narrative, to invoke names and motives, but Douluo's presence made every untruth flinch. Details that Yu had insisted on could not be corroborated. Testimonies he'd claimed vanished like smoke under scrutiny. The more he spoke, the more ridiculous his lies sounded, an unsteady tower collapsing. Then Douluo spoke again, and this time he did worse than expose. He humbled. "Because you made a spectacle of your host's compassion," he told him, voice cold enough to slice. "Because you thought you could use a woman's past to raise yourself. Stand aside." Two of the captain's guards approached, courteous but inexorable. They took Yu's arm and led him to the hall entrance. Heads turned not away now in scorn, but in relish. The courtyard outside filled with those who had been inside. People craned to see the man who had tried to destroy Xiao Wu dragged from the place he had insulted. As Yu Xiaogang was ushered out, mistaking the path for a dignified exit, someone hissed from the crowd, "Shame, shame on you." The shout was picked up like a banner. Others joined in. The chorus followed him into the night, until his shouts faded into the rattle of carriage wheels. After the door closed behind the last of the onlookers, Douluo turned back to Xiao Wu. The fire of indignation had left his face. In its place was something quieter: concern, recognition, an ache of memory. He bowed to her, not in formality but in apology. "You should not have been subjected to this theater," he said. "Tell me everything. If you are who I believe you are, no further shame will be tolerated under my roof." Xiao Wu's breath hitched. The weight of years, the hidden hunger, the nights spent tucking memories into a small pouch at her chest, seemed to lift. She met his gaze and saw in it not the curious interest of a nobleman, but the steady resolve of someone who would do the right thing. "I will tell you," she replied, "but not here. The crowd listens with sharp teeth. Let us walk where words can be ours alone." Douluo inclined his head. Together they moved from the hall, leaving behind the murmur and the lantern light. Outside, beneath the cold dome of night, the truth began to unspool, slow, deliberate, and at last in the hands of the man who would not let it be twisted again. In the hall, where Yu Xiaogang's humiliation lingered like an unpleasant scent, people spoke openly now of loyalty and honor. The moment had shifted. What had been a staged accusation became a revelation. Douluo had discovered not just a name, but a story, and by doing so had turned disgrace into vindication. The consequences would ripple outward, and no one present would soon forget the way Yu Xiaogang had been brought low. Chapter 46. A chapter was blocked by the audit. Chapter 44 got stuck in review. So the chapter 44 you're seeing right now is actually the content of chapter 45. I'm contacting the editor to get it fixed. 47. Chapter Restored Brothers. The original content of chapter 44 has been restored, so you can now read everything in the correct order. I am truly sorry, this was my fault. To make up for it, I will release 3 chapters tonight. Please cast your recommendation votes, monthly votes, and update requests. Kneeling in thanks. Chapter 47. Heading to Blue Silver City, a grand gathering, using territory as bargaining cash. After saying goodbye to Ye Lingling, Chu Chen and Douluo Bo left Heavendo Royal Academy together. On the way, Chu Chen said, "By the way, Old Poison, you should stay at the Ice and Fire Yin-Yang Well for a while." "Why?" Douluo Bo frowned. "It's just an insurance measure. I meant to leave those immortal herbs to continue cultivating in that environment, which is why I didn't take them all. I can't just let others reap those benefits so easily." Chu Chen explained his reasoning, and Douluo Bo nodded thoughtfully. "You're right, those immortal herbs are extremely important and can't be left unguarded. But since you're going to that grand event, watch your back." Douluo Bo's tone turned serious. "And that Shui Qinghe, he's not simple. Be careful when you deal with him." "I know," Chu Chen smiled. They parted ways. Douluo Bo returned to Sunset Forest, and Chu Chen went to an agreed meeting place to wait for Shui Qinghe. The sky lightened. A well-equipped royal escort arrived, accompanied by several promising young talents from the Heavendo Empire's royal family, clearly the candidates for this friendly exchange. "I didn't know the 2 great empires had this kind of exchange," one young man muttered. "They call it an exchange, but I think it's really a way to test the other side's youngsters, and if you can, kill as many opponents as possible." "But what's the wager?" another asked. "If there were no stake, everyone would hide their real strength." As Chu Chen was thinking this over, Shui Qinghe walked up slowly. "Brother Destruction, you've been waiting a long time." He kept that gentle, modest manner. "Greetings, Your Highness the Crown Prince." Chu Chen grinned and teased, his tone playful. Shui Qinghe blinked, then laughed helplessly. "Brother Destruction, you're impossible. Between us, we're just brothers. No need for Your Highness. Come on, get in the carriage." He clapped Chu Chen's shoulder casually. Chu Chen didn't stand on ceremony either. He threw an arm around Shui Qinghe's neck and climbed into the carriage with him. The royal guards and the crowd of young nobles were stunned. Who is this person who can put his arm around the crown prince like that? Chu Chen still wore the oversized cloak that concealed his appearance, but people put 2 and 2 together with the rumors about the infamous Destruction. "Wow, His Highness the Crown Prince is so down to earth," someone gushed. "Treat him well and he'll treat you well in return," others swooned. With Shui Qinghe's gentlemanly looks and the Crown Prince's status, many young women in the crowd were smitten. On the carriage heading to Blue Silver City, Chu Chen finally voiced the question he'd been thinking about. "Brother Qinghe, for such a major event between the Heavendo and Douluo empires, there must be a wager. Why would they let both sides' younger generation fight openly otherwise?" Shui Qinghe seemed to expect the question. "Of course there's a stake, and that stake is the ownership of Blue Silver City and the surrounding cities and lands." Chu Chen frowned. Using territory as the wager? No wonder they were willing to send their young talents without reservation. The winner would gain more land, more resources, and a strategic advantage if war ever broke out. To which empire does Blue Silver City and those surrounding lands currently belong? Heavendo or Douluo? Shui Qinghe sighed. Douluo. Chu Chen chuckled. So the Heavendo representatives last time hadn't done well. The journey was long. Even by carriage, it took nearly a week. Chu Chen took the time to relax and enjoy the scenery. He often entered a meditative state, reaching out through subtle fluctuations and communicating with the plants along the way. Through that meditation, he picked up small, interesting pieces of information. Time flew. On the 7th day, the plain opened up before them. Vast, boundless, and in the middle stood Blue Silver City. It wasn't an especially grand city, but it was striking on the endless plain. "Ahead is Blue Silver City," Shui Qinghe said, looking over the plain. "This area is the largest producer of mineral and oil resources, and it happens to sit on the border between Heavendo and Douluo. In the past, Small-scale wars for this place broke out frequently, causing heavy losses and damage to the resources. Later, this grand event became the established custom. Chu Chen nodded. No matter where you went, minerals and oil were vital, even on the Douluo continent. Following the convoy, they entered Blue Silver City. The locals dressed normally, but almost everyone bore a distinct pattern on their forearms, designs that looked like blue-silver grass. What are those patterns? A curse? A spirit mark? Chu Chen wondered. After some formalities, they officially entered the city. Luo royal troops were already gathered. The royal competition in Luo is harsh. They haven't had a true crown prince yet, so the representative for this trip is the eldest prince, most likely to become crown prince, Daiwaisi. Shui Qinghe introduced as they walked. A blond young man looked over, and Shui Qinghe exchanged polite greetings with him. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's grand event, Daiwaisi said before departing. Blue Silver City had arranged lodgings for the contingents from both empires. Chu Chen, however, had no intention of resting. He slipped out to wander the streets. Watch this, blue-silver entanglement. A child's voice nearby made him look up. 2 10-year-old boys were sparring in a yard. Their spirits were only the most ordinary white-grade types, and both were blue-silver grass spirit users. One boy sent tendrils of blue-silver grass bursting from the ground to bind the other. The move and its timing were exactly the same as that little brat he'd said goodbye to, Ye Lingling. For a moment, Chu Chen wondered if she had followed him here, but of course she hadn't. The other boy didn't show weakness. The blue-silver grass in his hand unfurled like a long sword. Watch my blue-silver sword cut through your bindings. Chu Chen's eyes lit up. Control-type blue-silver grass and an assault-type blue-silver grass. Good. Interesting variations of the same spirit. Chapter 48. Faith in the Blue-Silver Emperor. Chu Chen's imminent opportunity. The kids here have such unique ways of using blue-silver grass. It's fascinating. Chu Chen stood to the side, watching the fight between the little boy and Fatty. Unexpectedly, the blue-silver grass blade in Fatty's hand was incredibly sharp. He actually managed to sever the boy's binding of blue-silver grass. Still, after a long exchange, neither of them had gained the upper hand. Big brother, you've been watching us for a while. Do you need something? The boy asked politely. I'm just impressed by how you use blue-silver grass. What was the first spirit beast you absorbed? Chu Chen sat beside them and struck up a conversation. My first spirit beast was a 50-year-old tiger tail vine, the boy replied. Fatty chimed in behind him. Mine's a 50-year solitary bamboo. Chu Chen nodded. Tiger tail vine, its creeping roots and tough fibers interwoven through the leaves, plus the ductility of the foliage, make it very suitable for the blue-silver grass branch you're heading toward. Solitary bamboo is similar. It's resilient and has good piercing power, excellent for a blue-silver grass with a penetrating focus. Both boys scratched their heads, pleased by the praise. Big brother, you really know blue-silver grass, Fatty said curiously. I suppose so. I heard people here cultivate blue-silver grass in different ways, Chu Chen asked. The boy nodded. If you absorb plant-type spirit beasts like cornelian cherry, your blue-silver grass can gain tremendous speed, though its raw attack power might be a bit lacking, the boy explained. If you want defense, hunt tough plant beasts. For support and healing, find plants with self-regenerative traits. Cornelian cherry. Chu Chen's mind sharpened. He knew that spirit beast, its pollen could paralyze in an instant. He hadn't expected the skill of rapid pollen dispersal to translate into a speed-focused blue-silver grass technique. The ingenuity here surprised him. Even children were adapting different plant spirit traits into distinct branches of blue-silver grass. He couldn't help but feel a twinge of amusement. Cultivation choices were personal. Picking an unusual path didn't make someone wrong. Sometimes it was merely short-sighted. He thought of Xiaogang, whom he'd often mocked for pretending he understood when he didn't, claiming blue-silver grass had only one path: control. In truth, if it weren't for Tang San's blue-silver emperor bloodline, Tang San might have been ruined by people forcing blue-silver grass to absorb animal spirit beasts, abandoning the major for the minor, and flipping nature on its head. The people here proved that branching paths were possible. As Shui Qingye had warned, ordinary blue-silver grass that devoted itself to these branches usually stalled at spirit elder or spirit ancestor. Even with Tang San's hidden blue-silver emperor lineage, awakening might be out of reach. How far would such a spirit go? I didn't come to lecture them, Chu Chen thought, but these creative approaches might give me some new ideas. He asked, why don't you try applying animal-type spirit beasts to your blue-silver grass? Both boys shook their heads quickly. No way. Blue-silver grass is fragile. Absorbing plant beasts causes it to evolve a lot. Absorbing animals is forbidden. Even the children understood that. You Xiaogang, he thought, what a fool. Is your spirit blue-silver grass? The little boy asked. Chu Chen opened his palm. He didn't reveal his current golden, fully evolved blue-silver emperor, but instead condensed a blue and gold blue-silver emperor, the form it had once taken. A blue-silver grass with gold, the boy breathed. Chu Chen said goodbye to the two children and wandered through Blue-Silver City. Everyone here possessed a blue-silver grass spirit, and he saw countless inventive uses. Shields formed of braided blue-silver grass, huge blades and hammers, techniques that detonated the grass to blast through the earth and increase mobility, endless imaginative applications that widened his perspective. I didn't expect blue-silver grass to have so many uses, he murmured, but I haven't seen a single spirit ancestor on this stroll. One thing was clear to him. The life-oriented branch of blue-silver grass could encompass most of these variations, and that was where Chu Chen's strength lay. Blue-silver grass offered many cultivation routes, but he felt strongly that the life path best suited the spirit's fragile nature. As he turned to head back to his lodging, a middle-aged man materialized in front of him. Chu Chen looked up. The man's eyes held restrained excitement as he asked, "Excuse me, are you from the Heaven Do Empire?" "I am, more or less. Why?" Chu Chen nodded. The man's strength was difficult for Chu Chen to gauge. By his estimate, he was at least a spirit saint. "I mean no harm. I heard you possess a blue silvergrass spirit with gold patterns. I wondered." Chu Chen studied the man. On his arm was the same special mark he had noticed earlier, the distinctive sign everyone in Blue Silver City seemed to bear. It looked less like fashion than some kind of legacy mark. "You're the city lord of Blue Silver City," Chu Chen guessed. Perhaps the only person in the city whose strength he couldn't read was the city lord, rumored to be a spirit Douluo. That would explain his presence here, the only blue-silver grass master of such power. "That's right." The city lord bowed slightly and summoned his spirit. Chu Chen noticed something unexpected. It wasn't simple blue-silver grass. It was a blue-silver king, clearly evolved and suffused with life energy. Then a golden blue-silver emperor bloomed in Chu Chen's palm, and the city lord's blue-silver king involuntarily bowed toward it. Gold patterns, a blue-silver grass with gold patterns. Could it be the legendary blue-silver emperor, the true ruler of the blue-silver clan? The city lord breathed, awe and excitement shaking his voice. He stepped closer, trembling. "Sir, is that really the blue-silver emperor? The legendary blue-silver emperor?" Chu Chen felt no hostility from him and nodded. "What exactly is Blue Silver City?" The city lord's eyes shone with reverence. "This city has professed faith in the blue-silver emperor for generations. Sir, the spirit you carry is the blue-silver emperor we worship." Chapter 49. Soulbone Evolution to God Level. The Life God King Assessment begins. Chu Chen followed the city lord into a small spirit beast forest just outside Blue Silver City. The moment he stepped beneath the canopy, a familiar sensation washed over him. "This aura," he murmured. He released his blue-silver emperor. The golden form of the blue-silver emperor unfurled, sending ripples of golden energy through the grove. As the light swept past, the surrounding plants burst into accelerated growth. The blue-silver grass reacted most strongly, its leaves taking on a radiant shimmer. "Your Excellency Chu Chen, this is Blue Silver City's situation," the city lord said respectfully. On the way over, the city lord had already told him the basics. For generations, the people here had been born with blue-silver grass as their spirit. That tradition was tied to an ancient blue-silver emperor who had once attained godhood and left behind a legacy. "That godlike blue-silver emperor left us a legacy," the city lord explained. "It allows any qualified person here to evolve into a blue-silver king and even gain the potential to rise to the rank of Spirit Douluo. Now Chu Chen understood the source of the reverence here. It was like the faith in the sea god on Sea God Island. The Lord left a decree. Blue Silver City must hide its existence. If another Blue Silver Emperor comes, then destiny will decide what happens. You, Excellency Chu Chen, are the one we've waited generations for, the city lord added, bowing his head. I heard about Blue Silver City from others, Chu Chen said slowly. That was also fate, the city lord replied. You came here, and you carry a Blue Silver Emperor that has walked the path of ultimate life. There's no doubt, you are the one spoken of in our legends. They reached an altar set into a small clearing. Mysterious runic marks were carved across it. When Chu Chen looked closer, the patterns matched the Blue Silver Emperor exactly, down to the golden vein-like patterns on the leaves. Please step onto the altar, Your Excellency, the city lord urged. Chu Chen nodded and stepped up. The moment his feet touched the stone, a faint golden light flared and raced through the engraved patterns, coalescing into a beautiful design. A beam of golden light shot up into the night, brilliant against the dark sky. The city lord stared, his voice shaking with emotion. I'm so fortunate to witness the arrival of this legendary lord. Standing on the altar, Chu Chen felt a surge of life energy unlike anything before. Pure life force pushed toward its ultimate degree. Blue Silver Emperor's stalks erupted beneath his feet, and golden and blue-gold light braided together like a tiny galaxy, wrapping him completely. Then, like a bright star, a shaft of golden light sank into his lower leg, right where he had absorbed the Blue Silver Emperor's leg bone. Boom! Chu Chen's cultivation instantly rose to rank 50. The Blue Silver Emperor leg bone he had absorbed completed an evolution. Under the altar's life energy, it had transformed into a divine rank spirit bone. The legends were true. It really could happen. Tears streaked the city lord's face as he rushed forward and knelt on one knee before Chu Chen. Your Excellency, now that you've come to Blue Silver City, we are saved. Chu Chen helped him up. There's no need for ceremony. Tell me slowly, what do the legends record? The city lord calmed himself and explained. Long ago, the Blue Silver Emperor who became a god left a prophecy. He foretold that a new Blue Silver Emperor would arrive in the future. Until then, our people were to live here, guarding our faith in the Blue Silver Emperor across generations, so that one day hope could return. He pointed to the now glowing spirit bone in Chu Chen's leg. The gift that Lord left is the power to evolve the Blue Silver Emperor spirit bone to divine rank. Chu Chen was stunned. He had sensed the evolution, but hadn't expected it to reach divine rank so directly. Is this why Blue Silver City has remained hidden here for so long, even though we sit on a border between two warring nations, always at risk? Yes, Excellency, the city lord said. Ordinary quality blue-silver grass can't raise great strength. Most of our people remain at the level of Spirit Elder. The wars between the Heaven Do and Star Luo forces have eaten our numbers time and again. We had to drift between them, always trying to avoid total annihilation, waiting for the next Blue-Silver Emperor. Hearing the whole story, Chu Chen felt the weight of it. What did that Blue-Silver Emperor do that made you hold on to the faith for so long? That lord saved our ancestors and preserved our last sparks, the city lord said, reverently. Chu Chen stood in silence for a moment, then turned to the altar and bowed. Thank you for what you did, Senior. City Lord, tomorrow I will represent the Heaven Do Empire at this year's Grand Assembly. I will ensure Blue Silver City's protection under the Heaven Do jurisdiction for this year. Since I have accepted this legacy, I won't stand aside while this city suffers, he added. When I grow stronger, I will protect Blue Silver City. After accepting a predecessor's legacy, one naturally took on obligations. Chu Chen intended to honor that bond. Suddenly, a buzzing filled his mind. A gentle, elegant voice imbued with divinity echoed inside him. Chu Chen, you have obtained a divine rank spirit bone with the ultimate life attribute. You are now qualified to receive the legacy of the Life God King. The Life God King legacy has been activated. The first trial of the Life God King legacy has arrived. Trial content. Try and obtain a life token when you acquire your next spirit bone. Chu Chen stood frozen. The Life God King? The goddess of life herself was issuing a trial. He realized then the deeper intention behind both the god of destruction and the goddess of life. They were a divine pair. If they couldn't find a pair of lovers who embodied destruction and life together, then someone like him, a spirit master possessing both ultimate life and ultimate destruction attributes, would be the only candidate able to take on both paths at once. Chapter 50. Chu Chen makes his move. He slaughters the Douluo Empire's people. This 15 is destined to make me kill Xiao Wu. Chu Chen accepted his new identity as the successor to the legacy of the 13 with a quiet satisfaction. He was confident he could complete the dual God-King trials. The city lord, standing before him, suddenly said, "Your Excellency, now that you have appeared, the position of City Lord of Blue-Silver City is yours." Chu Chen quickly declined. "City Lord, you are the one chosen each generation to become the Blue-Silver King. That position belongs to you. I still have many things to take care of. I can't stay in Blue-Silver City now. I must grow stronger as quickly as I can so I can protect everyone here." The city lord nodded gravely. To witness the arrival of the legendary Blue-Silver Emperor with his own eyes, he felt luckier than any previous city lord. "Your Excellency Chu Chen, be careful at tomorrow's Grand Assembly. I expect many will die, and some will not fight honorably. They may launch sneak attacks from the shadows." "I understand. They won't get the chance," Chu Chen replied. Soon after Chu Chen and the city lord left, Shui Qinghe arrived, eyes wide with surprise. "So Brother Destruction's blue-silver grass isn't so simple, as expected of the close friend I've set my sights on. It seems the garrison at Blue-Silver City will need strengthening if Blue-Silver City is to be taken back this year." As he spoke, Chu Chen's figure emerged like a ghost. "Brother Qinghe, it's late. Haven't you rested?" Chu Chen had long sensed Shui Qinghe's approach. Blue-silver grass spread everywhere here, and through it, Chu Chen could capture information with the Blue-Silver Emperor. Shui Qinghe admitted, "I saw Brother Destruction come here earlier, so I followed out of curiosity. I didn't expect such a great opportunity hidden here. Brother Destruction must have reaped quite a harvest. Having obtained an opportunity, it's only right to fulfill others' wishes. That's necessary karma. But are you upset that I kept the Blue-Silver Emperor hidden?" Chu Chen asked casually, but he was testing him. Shui Qinghe didn't overthink it. He stepped to Chu Chen's side and said simply, "Brother Destruction. No, Brother Chu Chen, you must be joking. We all have our secrets. I won't pry, but if you still consider me a friend, accept my goodwill, I'll provide protection for Blue-Silver City." He extended his hand. Chu Chen hesitated a moment, then smiled and shook it. "No matter our ranks, we're still friends. Brother Chu Chen, do your best tomorrow to help me reclaim Blue-Silver City's jurisdiction." Shu Qinghe said seriously. If he was going to protect the city, it had to be back inside the Heavendu Empire's borders. He seemed moved. "Brother Chu Chen, I want to be honest with you, no matters of rank or mission. I hope that when the time comes, you'll still be willing to be my friend." He waved and left first. Chu Chen's expression was complicated as he turned away. The next day, the Grand Assembly between the younger generations of the Heavendu Empire and the Douluo Empire began. The friendly exchange was intense. Not long after it started, 2 Heavendu youths at Spirit Ancestor Strength were killed outright, falling where they stood. "The Heavendu Empire is still weak," someone mocked. Shui Qinghe's expression remained calm despite the taunts. He wanted to send a third contestant, but Chu Chen stepped forward before he could. "Make your move," Chu Chen said with indifference. "Kid, die," the Douluo Empire's contestant snarled. He was powerful. He possessed the vigorous Vajra Bear spirit like Zhao Wuji, and his 24 had reached level 49. Second spirit ability, life deprivation. Chu Chen raised his hand slowly. Invisible life energy condensed into a field that enveloped the entire arena. In an instant, the Douluo contestant's head exploded. Chu Chen's 24 and 14 were far superior. Life deprivation didn't need to slowly drain him. Its effect was instantaneous. He killed that opponent with ruthless efficiency, then looked at the grim-faced Dai Weisi. "Continue. This year's assembly doesn't need to last too long." He stood with his hands behind his back, his aura eerily calm. Some challengers didn't believe it. One who had just reached the Spirit King realm was cut down without suspense by the Blue-Silver Emperor's life deprivation. Then Chu Chen unleashed another skill, first spirit ability, Life Streamer. He activated the Blue-Silver Emperor's ultimate life force, threw a single punch, and tore an opponent apart. After a few more brief rounds, another Star Luo youth fell. The carnage left everyone stunned. So, such terrifying strength. He must be that destruction who's been making a name for himself in the Great Spirit Arena. He's even more frightening when using spirit abilities. Someone from the Heaven Do side recognized Chu Chen from his familiar attire and whispered that thought aloud. They had never seen him use spirit abilities before, until this day. "Do you want to continue, First Prince?" someone asked Daiwaisi. Chu Chen looked at him with the cold, killing intent in his eyes, making even Daiwaisi flinch. Chu Chen had already slain dozens of Star Luo Empire youths, an unprecedented situation. How could someone so young be this powerful? Even those whose 24 exceeded Chu Chen's were crushed in seconds. Spectators muttered in disbelief. "This is blue silver grass? You call this blue silver grass?" From a distance, the city lord of Blue Silver City watched with excitement. This is the true power of the Blue Silver Emperor. In the end, to protect the rest of his young warriors, Daiwaisi conceded. The Heaven Do Empire won an absolute victory at this year's assembly, and it was all because of Chu Chen. This was the first time he had truly displayed his edge. "Brother Chu Chen, thank you," Shui Qinghe said solemnly as he stepped forward. "You kept your promise." Chu Chen laughed, then his figure flashed and he vanished. The Heaven Do delegation would stay one more night and return to Heaven Do City the next day. Chu Chen met with the Blue Silver City Lord before he left. "City Lord, I leave tomorrow. I've spoken to the Crown Prince. He will reinforce the troops stationed in Blue Silver City. Give me some time, and I will be strong enough to protect this place." He released the golden life energy of the Blue Silver Emperor. Under its influence, the City Lord's 24 surged. He broke through by one level. "Your Excellency Chu Chen, we will wait for you here. Heaven Do City." After many days, Chu Chen returned. After saying goodbye to Shui Qinghe, he didn't go back to the Heaven Do Royal Academy, but instead headed for the Sunset Forest. He activated the flight ability of his Blue-Silver Emperor's right leg spirit bone and sped through the trees. Before long, he arrived at the poison array Douluo had set. With a single strike, Chu Chen condensed his spirit power and shattered the formation. In the next instant, a figure stepped through the air, accompanied by Douluo's roar. "Who the hell is that?" "It's me, Old Poison." Seeing Chu Chen, Douluo's expression relaxed into a smile, and they went back to the ice and fire yin-yang well to talk. "How did you come back so fast, kid? Tell me everything," Douluo asked, curious. Chu Chen explained what had happened in the intervening days. Though there were no dramatic twists, Douluo was still shocked. "Damn, so your blue-silver grass has that kind of potential. No wonder it has such powerful abilities. So this trip let you obtain the legacy energy of a god?" Chu Chen nodded. "Exactly. I obtained the Blue-Silver Emperor's energy, which allowed my spirit bone to evolve," and Douluo, sensing Chu Chen's hesitation, asked, "And furthermore, my spirit power has already broken through to level 50. Old Poison, I need your help to hunt that soft bones rabbit." That was the reason Chu Chen had come. The first 4 spirit techniques of his Blue-Silver Emperor had already set him on a path toward an ultimate life technique. Cultivating the soft bones rabbit's technique might be unconventional, but Paragon Golden Body and Teleportation were both overwhelmingly powerful skills, and this was for the assessment by the Goddess of Life. "Don't worry about that. I've been watching these past few days. That rabbit is still staying at that place. What was it called? Blue Tyrant Academy? It's been renamed Shrek Academy now." Douluo wasn't overly surprised. Chu Chen had already mentioned wanting the soft bones rabbit's technique. "So you want me to hold Tang Hao back?" "Yes. After his fight with Qian Shunji, Tang Hao has extremely serious internal injuries, but he's still dangerous. Old Poison, you just need to stall him. I have a way to kill that rabbit." Chu Chen's concern was Tang Hao. If he killed Xiaowu, Tang San would go mad, and Tang Hao would never stand by. Douluo's spirit power had already reached level 93, and his Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor poison had grown ever more potent. He might not be able to defeat Tang Hao outright, but holding him off for a time wouldn't be a problem. Tang Hao wouldn't dare to fight at full strength, otherwise he might be the one to die. Holding Tang Hao back isn't a problem, but are you sure about this? Don't forget, Shrek Academy has at least 3 spirit saints, and even a spirit emperor. Bo's expression grew serious, and his eyes were full of concern. No matter how talented Chu Chen was, he was still only a quasi-spirit king. He stood no chance against 3 spirit saints. I have another helper, Chu Chen said. He'd arranged that helper on the way back. As a reward for Chu Chen's help in reclaiming Blue Silver City, Shui Qinghe had asked what he desired. Chu Chen had requested the aid of an expert, and Shui Qinghe had readily agreed. No small favor. Oh? Another helper? Can that person deal with 3 spirit saints and a spirit emperor? Even an average spirit Douluo would find that difficult. Bo was surprised, but it made sense. With Chu Chen's connections, knowing an extra-titled Douluo was plausible. With more chances of success, he agreed without hesitation. Fine, but be quick. I may not be able to hold Tang Hao for long, you understand. No problem. Chu Chen smiled. He didn't intend to give Shrek time to react. The operation would begin soon. He wasn't sure if Xiao Wu had realized Bo had discovered her identity. If she learned and slipped away early, it would complicate things. After arranging everything, Chu Chen and Bo returned to Heavendo City. Shrek Academy wasn't far, and even if a fight broke out, it wouldn't endanger the city. Outside Shrek Academy, Bo appeared. He condensed an immense amount of spirit power in his hands, spiced with the lethal aura of his Jade Phosphorus Snake Emperor poison, and strolled forward as if to swagger. Flender, come out! His voice echoed ominously. 3 figures immediately appeared. Flender, Liu Erlong, and Zhao Wuji, the strongest among the Shrek teachers. Xiaogang arrived a bit later. His expression shifted the moment he saw Bo. He hadn't forgotten how a few days earlier Bo had cornered them and forced them out of the Heaven-Do Royal Academy. Senior Dugu, you honor us with your presence. What's this about? Flender asked in a deep voice, though his face was grave. He always felt Bo came with bad intent. Do I need to tell you why I'm here? Bo replied coldly. Then he unleashed a terrifying pressure that pinned everyone in place, Tang San and the others who'd come running at the commotion included. Xiao Wu was hiding at the very back of the group. When she saw Bo, her face drained of color. He really found me. He came for me. From within the crowd, Xiao Wu clearly saw Bo's gaze fixed on her. She wanted to run, but the dim-witted Tang San grabbed her hand. Xiao Wu, don't be afraid. Teacher and the others have our martial soul fusion skill. We can contend with a titled Douluo. Everything will be fine. Only when you're beside me can I protect you. Xiao Wu was near tears. Damn it, you're just a spirit elder. What are you going to protect me from? Brother, let's go. Her voice had the edge of a sob. Tang San sensed something was wrong, and Bo spoke at that moment. Hand over that 100,000-year spirit beast, or Shrek will run red with blood. Bo's pressure surged, but his words stunned Flender and the others into disbelief. 100,000-year spirit beast? Where would one come from? Bo, there aren't any spirit beasts here. Flender's voice trembled with fury. To him, Bo had clearly come just to stir trouble. Only a spirit saint. What are you so high and mighty about? That girl, Xiao Wu, from your Shrek Academy, her true form is a spirit beast, isn't it? Bo's figure flickered, and he was suddenly standing in front of Xiao Wu and Tang San. What? Dai Mubai, Ma Hongjun, and the others cried out in shock. The news was terrifying. Xiao Wu, the companion they'd grown so close to, might actually be a spirit beast. No wonder Bo had come on the offensive. Xiao Wu's whole body trembled. She could not form a word. Bo raised his hand as if to seize her. Don't you dare touch Xiao Wu. Killing intent flared in Tang San's eyes. Hidden weapons appeared in his hands, poisoned and lethal, but before Bo they barely mattered. Bo, Tang San barked, don't you lay a hand on any student of my Shrek Academy. Flender and Liu Erlong were the first to break free from the suppression. They released their spirits. Sun and moon shine, golden transformation. With their help, Xiaogang also freed himself, and the 3 combined for a martial soul fusion skill. Luo San Pao instantly evolved into the golden sacred dragon and descended with a holy aura. Its presence was formidable, already comparable to a titled Douluo. If this had been the old Bo, he might have had to struggle with the dragon a while, but the current Douluo stood unfazed, hands clasped behind his back. "Little San, you three take Xiaowu and run." Xiaogang roared, and Tang San's group took Xiaowu and fled. Douluo did not move to chase. Instead, stalks of golden blue-silver emperor grass burst from the ground, instant yanking everyone to a halt and binding them. Blue-silver grass? Everyone was stunned. Chu Chen materialized in a black robe, life energy swelling in his hands as he closed in on Tang San's group. Daimubai roared and unleashed his white tiger Vajra transformation, throwing a domineering punch at Chu Chen. Their fists met, and Daimubai was sent flying, smashing into the wall behind him. He coughed blood, badly injured. "Everyone, we meet again." The voice brought recognition. Chu Chen. Tang San and Xiaowu's faces tightened. They knew him only too well. "It's you," Tang San shouted, rage splitting his voice. He discarded restraint and unleashed everything he had. Using Ghost Shadow Perplexing Track to close the distance, he flooded the air with cold light, hidden weapons, while activating 3 of his spirit abilities. Blue-silver grass shot toward Chu Chen. Chu Chen sneered. "Tang San, after so many losses to me, you still don't learn." The blue-silver emperor bloodline power surged. The blue-silver grass, normally quite controllable, withered at once. Extremely wary of Chu Chen's bloodline, it could no longer function. Ning Rongrong and Oscar hastened to provide support, while Zhu King, Ma Hongjun, Tang San, and the newly recovered Dai Mubai all attacked Chu Chen together. Second spirit ability, Hell 100 Claws. First spirit ability, Phoenix Firewire. Second spirit ability, White Tiger Lightwave. They struck in unison, but Chu Chen raised a hand and gathered the blue-silver emperor into a wall, blocking their assault. Then his third spirit ability unfolded. Third spirit ability, Life Hunyuan Matrix. A matrix condensed from surging life energy descended from the sky and wrapped the group. No matter how they thrashed, they could not break free. Boom! The concentrated life energy detonated. Life Shock Blast! Ma Hongjun and the others collapsed instantly. Only Dai Mubai, Oscar, Tang San, and Xiao Wu were spirit elders among them. The shock left Tang San and the rest spitting blood. "Damn it, blue-silver grass is useless," Tang San snarled. He didn't hesitate. He drew his second spirit, the clear sky hammer. Black light pulsed as he began the disorder-splitting wind hammer method, stacking force against the life matrix. "Little freaks, get them out of here," Tang San shouted. At that precise moment, Zhao Wuji and Li Yusong arrived, blocking Chu Chen's advance and releasing their spirits, one a spirit saint, the other a spirit emperor. They were formidable reinforcements. Golden blue-silver emperor vines rose into the air in clusters, tough and brimming with life energy, lashing toward Zhao Wuji and the others. Zhao Wuji struck and shattered a cluster with a palm, but the vitality of the vines was terrifying. They regrew immediately and bypassed Zhao Wuji, aiming straight for Xiao Wu. Fourth spirit ability, Life Enhancement. Chu Chen cried. He absorbed the surrounding vitality into his fist and hurled a massive, devastating blow at Zhao Wuji. The golden life energy glowed a pure ink black in the life enhancement state. The blow collided with Zhao Wuji with a thunderous impact, sending the surprised man reeling. How is this possible? Such strength! Zhao Wuji stared at Chu Chen in disbelief. Could this really be a blue-silver grass spirit master? At that moment, Douluo reappeared. After repelling the golden sacred dragon, he moved as if to grab Xiao Wu. Boom, a violent shock threw Douluo back. Tang Hao at last arrived. Holding the clear sky hammer, he cleaved through Chu Chen's life matrix with a single swing and planted himself between Chu Chen and Tang San's group. "Tang Hao, you finally show up." Douluo steadied himself and released his 9 spirit rings, summoning the Jade Phosphor Serpent avatar. Tang Hao glared at Douluo with murderous intent, hammer ready. "Great, it's father. Father is actually a titled Douluo." Tang San's excitement burst out. Tang Hao's presence meant Xiao Wu would be safe. "Chu Chen, prepare to die." The golden sacred dragon and Zhao Wuji both pressed their attacks on Chu Chen, but from the shadows, a man in black appeared, holding a snake lance. He drove the lance forward, disrupting the golden sacred dragon's assault. "I'll take care of this," Chu Chen nodded to the man in black and then dashed toward Xiao Wu. If he could kill her, Tang Hao might stop engaging. In this moment, Tang Hao could not endure a prolonged fight. Chu Chen no longer held back. The blue-silver emperor concentrated into a long spear and charged for Xiao Wu. The man in black alone held off the golden sacred dragon, Zhao Wuji, and the others. In that instant, no one else could get between Chu Chen and Xiao Wu. Chapter 53. The incompetent Tang San watches as Xiao Wu is captured. There is actually another titled Douluo. Flender and the others felt their hearts drop. The power of the golden sacred dragon they had fused into was already more than a match for a normal opponent. Facing a true titled Douluo, they would eventually be overwhelmed. "Little San, you all get out of here," Flender roared, and they immediately began to fully release their spirit power, determined to take down the Black Snake Lancer quickly. The appearance of the man in black also pinned down Zhao Wuji and Li Yusong. With his ability, handling both the golden sacred dragon and Zhao Wuji at once was no problem. High above, Bo kept Tang Hao occupied with his tyrannical jade phosphorus snake emperor poison, not to kill him, but to hold him in place. Blue silver emperor, blue silver grass, and Yin's aura. Tang Hao's eyes went red. He finally understood this had nothing to do with Chrysanthemum Douluo. Chu Chen was behind it all. Taking Yin and the blue silver emperor's spirit bone, Tang Hao feared the disappearance of the blue silver king was connected to this man. Rage exploded inside him. He let out a bestial roar, hefted the massive clear sky hammer, and unleashed black thunder attacks in rapid succession. Bo could only dodge the sharp edge. Tang Hao's enraged state was exactly what Chu Chen had been waiting for. Given Tang Hao's current condition, he could only sustain such a frenzy for a short time. Endure until now, then erupt. Chu Chen noticed Tang Hao's frenzy. From the moment he decided to hunt Xiao Wu, he had known the secret of his possession of the blue-silver emperor's spirit bone might be revealed. He did not care. He already had means of protecting himself. Give him a little more time, and not even Tang Hao could stop him. Endure until now, then he would strike. "Chu Chen, don't think we fear you," Tang San warned. They had reached the forest behind Shrek Academy and used the trees for cover. They chose to confront Chu Chen head-on. "That's right. With the 7 of us together, you won't be able to hold out." With Oscar's help, Daimubai had recovered. Seeing Daimubai and Zhu King finish their instant fusion, the overwhelmingly tyrannical Hell White Tiger charged at Chu Chen. Ning Rongrong followed up with support, while Ma Hongjun and Tang San attacked from different angles. Chu Chen lifted a stalk of blue-silver emperor and held it against Ma Hongjun's searing phoenix flames, tearing the fire apart as it thrust toward Ma Hongjun. His blue-silver grass isn't afraid of the phoenix flames. Tang San and the others were stunned and felt something was wrong. Tang San tried to use his own blue-silver grass to pull Ma Hongjun back, but under the suppression of the blue-silver emperor's bloodline, his grass had lost half its strength and couldn't launch an effective attack. He could only watch helplessly as Ma Hongjun was pierced. The blow struck Ma Hongjun's vital area, and blood sprayed into the night. Ma Hongjun's face contorted in pain. Having lost all his spirit power, he collapsed, writhing. After dealing with Ma Hongjun, Chu Chen gathered golden life energy in one hand and punched toward the clear sky hammer. The hand Tang San used to hold the hammer trembled. Even with the added weight of the clear sky hammer boosting his strength to terrifying levels, Tang San was still sent flying by Chu Chen's punch. 4th spirit ability, life enhancement. The blue-silver emperor around Chu Chen blossomed with brilliant golden light and then shifted into an ink-dark form. The ink-jade blue-silver emperor condensed into a massive hammer in Chu Chen's hand and was hurled. With a resounding crash, it struck the Hell White Tiger, sending it reeling. The Hell White Tiger disintegrated. Daimubai could barely stand. Zhu King was smashed unconscious. Chu Chen shifted form and closed on Tang San. Having fought countless life-or-death battles in the Great Spirit Arena and sparred with Qian Renshui, Chu Chen's close-quarters combat was terrifying. Even Tang San's purple demon eye could not clearly track his movements. Chu Chen swatted the clear sky hammer from Tang San with one hand, then a hidden surge of life energy vibrated through the air and shattered the bone in Tang San's arm. The hammer fell to the ground. Chu Chen struck again, and Tang San spat blood as he was flung hundreds of meters. With a thought from Chu Chen, the blue-silver emperor surged outward, covering sky and earth, forming binding seals that wrapped everyone up high in the air. With their current strength, they could not break free from the Blue-Silver Emperor's restraint. After dealing with them, only Xiao Wu remained. You. Xiao Wu's voice trembled. No matter what, she could not have imagined that Chu Chen, the person she had always looked down on at Notting Academy, had such terrifying power. Xiao Wu, get out of here! Tang San shouted anxiously. Xiao Wu's eyes were full of reluctance at leaving Tang San, but the magnetic field of the space around her trembled faintly. A violent power was gathering. A stalk of blue-silver emperors struck through the air and knocked Xiao Wu unconscious. Tang San understood too well what Xiao Wu was about to do. Wasn't she trying to offer a sacrifice? Chu Chen had been guarding against Xiao Wu all along to prevent her from completing such a sacrifice at this moment. If that sacrifice succeeded, Chu Chen would lose everything. He could not allow it. Xiao Wu. Tang San's eyes were split by rage. He tried to tear free from the blue-silver emperor's bind like a madman, but he could not. He could only watch helplessly as Xiao Wu was taken. Chu Chen then fled into the distance with Xiao Wu. Killing her here would make it difficult to absorb the spirit energy. At most, he could take a spirit bone, which would suffice. High above, Dietian watched with an indifferent expression. Chu Chen was hunting a 100,000-year spirit beast. Dietian should have intervened. But considering Chu Chen's identity, someone the spirit beast co-master had to protect, how could Dietian act so casually? As a spirit beast, falling in love with a human is already a betrayal of the soul beast clan. Death is no pity, Dietian coldly judged, and he chose to stand by. Tang Hao went berserk. The clear sky hammer in his hands expanded in the wind, and the spirit energy under his feet suddenly detonated. With one hammer, he blasted Douluo back, then exploded into motion, chasing after Chu Chen. Tang Hao's eruption of strength shattered the binding seals on Tang San and the others. The moment the seals fell, Tang San gave chase like a madman. He wanted to kill Chu Chen. Brat, go to hell! Filled with vengeance, Tang Hao swung the clear sky hammer, aiming for Chu Chen. The sudden ring explosion took Douluo by surprise. Chu Chen, go! Douluo cried, desperate to stop Tang Hao. A flash of ruthlessness burned in Chu Chen's eyes as black-purple destructive thunder quietly condensed in his palm. But space trembled, and a black-gold energy impact tore through the air and slammed into Tang Hao. His expression changed. He was badly wounded by the strike. A huge claw mark gouged across his chest. Chapter 54. Dietian strikes, severely wounding Tang Hao. Chu Chen kills Xiao Wu. The sudden attack left Chu Chen momentarily stunned. Where had that blow come from? The force behind that strike is terrifying, someone muttered. A single hit was enough to grievously wound Tang Hao even in his ring explosion state. Tang Hao lay badly injured, his face white. He knew he was powerless to change the situation. He couldn't save Xiao Wu today. There was nothing for it but retreat. With a grim, strained motion he turned, scooped Tang San up, and fled into the dark. No, Xiao Wu! Tang San roared, struggling desperately, but Tang Hao struck him once and knocked him unconscious to keep him from resisting. Douluo rushed to Chu Chen's side. Chu Chen, are you all right? I'm fine. Let's go. Chu Chen nodded, then left with Douluo. At the same moment, Flender's trio had exhausted their reserves and their fusion dissolved. Zhao Wuji was injured, and Li Yusong's dragon pattern stick lay shattered. Against the black snake lance Douluo, their strength was simply insufficient. When they saw Chu Chen nod and withdraw, the black snake lance Douluo melted back into the shadows as well. Xiaogang watched, blank fury on his face, as Chu Chen carried Xiao Wu away. Chu Chen, put Xiao Wu down. I'm willing to guide your blue-silver grass cultivation path. I'll make you a titled Douluo. You can't possibly absorb a 100,000-year spirit ring right now, another cried. A tendril of the blue-silver emperor erupted with a thunderous blast. Liu Erlong threw herself forward and intercepted it, preventing Yu Xiaogang's body from being torn apart, but the strike still severed one of his arms. Yu Xiaogang lost the arm, his face drained of color, pain nearly taking him into unconsciousness. Noisy. Chu Chen's gaze passed over Yu Xiaogang, like over a dead dog. Then he and Douluo vanished into the darkness. Dietian followed them at that moment, a faint light still clinging to his hand, the same light that had not yet dissipated. It had been he who had struck. Who struck for us just now? Did Qian Renshui send a porcupine fish Douluo? But even porcupine fish Douluo shouldn't be that strong. Chu Chen muttered, puzzled, as they hurried away. That blow actually tore at space itself, Douluo said, still shaken. There's a very powerful presence behind you. Kid, you've got remarkable luck. Douluo now regretted underestimating Tang Hao. Tang Hao in Ring Explosion was no ordinary opponent. If Tang Hao had focused on killing Douluo instead of trying to protect Tang San and Xiao Wu, Douluo would likely have been finished. For now, the job's done. Chu Chen put aside his questions about who had intervened. He would find out later and repay the favor if needed. Let's go, old poison. We head back to the Icefire Yin-Yang well. Only by absorbing that well's energy will I be certain. Douluo nodded, and the two quickly disappeared into the sunset forest, leaving Heaven Do City behind. Inside Heaven Do Imperial Palace, the Black Snake Lance Douluo, who had helped Chu Chen, stood in the shadows and reported to Shui Qinghe. Young Lord, the mission is complete, though an unexpected incident occurred. Oh? What happened? Chu Chen wasn't hurt, was he? Shui Qing asked, expression composed. The Black Snake Lance recounted how someone had secretly struck and gravely wounded Tang Hao. Shui Qinghe's interest brightened. It seems this friend of mine is no simple fool. He has a powerful backer. Ha, he smiled. But Chu Chen looked as confused as anyone, the Black Snake Lance added. He had no idea who helped him. Shui Qinghe didn't seem to care much for that. He waved the Douluo away. Thank you for your work, Uncle Shay. Keep an eye on Chu Chen. I worry Tang Hao may try to take revenge. Understood, young lord, the Douluo replied and departed. Shui Qinghe lingered by the window, watching the pale moonlight over the horizon. A small smile touched his lips. Chu Chen, I don't know when I'll be able to tell you everything about myself. I hope that when the time comes, we'll still be what we are now, or perhaps something more. The words were soft, almost a private wish. Tang Hao landed in a mountain range, Tang San cradled in his arms. He could no longer hold back the blood and vomited heavily, staring in disbelief at the jagged wound in his chest as if some claw had ripped him open. That attack? Could it have been a spirit beast? Does that kid actually have a spirit beast helping him? Ah Yin, no. I'm useless. I failed to protect you. I couldn't even protect my son's beloved. Rage and grief struck at his heart, and Tang Hao collapsed into unconsciousness. A short while later, Tang San stirred awake. Seeing Tang Hao half dead, he hurriedly circulated his mysterious heaven skill internal energy to stem the bleeding and stabilize him. Then the realization slammed into him like a physical blow. Xiao Wu was probably lost. He began to weep. Chu Chen, I'll kill you. He vowed through his sobs. When Tang Hao finally opened his eyes, he looked at Tang San with tears on his old face. Little San, I've failed you. Your mother is gone. Tang San froze. Wait, wasn't she already gone when I was born? Tang Hao went on to tell him everything. When Tang San learned that his blue-silver emperor could no longer undergo awakening and that his mother had been killed by Chu Chen, forever lost, no chance of resurrection, it felt as though he had been stripped of his 3 ethereal souls and 7 corporeal spirits all at once. No, Chu Chen! Damn you! He screamed. Ice and fire. Yin-yang. Well, Xiao Wu came to from her stupor and saw Chu Chen sitting not far away, watching her with inscrutable calm. How is my brother? She asked faintly, her eyes hollow. Despair had settled over her like a shroud. He's dead, Chu Chen answered casually. He did not tell her that Tang San still lived. He wanted her to believe there was nothing left for her. Xiao Wu's slight body trembled. Tears slid down her cheeks as she glared at Chu Chen with murderous fury. Why wouldn't you let him go? Your target was me. Chu Chen's smile was cold. If you accept death calmly, you could even sacrifice yourself to me. It would spare me the trouble of absorbing 100,000-year spirit ring. In your dreams, Xiao Wu spat. Puff! The blue-silver emperor's tendril drove through her heart. Blood sprayed. The scene was brutal. Chu Chen watched without expression as Xiao Wu's eyes clouded and the light went out of them. He was not soft-hearted. Better to end it quickly and avoid complications. Xiao Wu's lips moved as if to speak, but no sound came. Her legs twitched once, twice, and then she lay still, collapsed on the ground. A surge of energy erupted, twisting the very space around them, the violent outpouring that accompanies the death of a 100,000-year spirit beast. It condensed into a brilliant scarlet spirit ring and floated before Chu Chen. Let's begin, he murmured. My first 100,000-year spirit ring. 56. Chapter 55. Breakthrough to Spirit King. Tang San decides to cultivate the clear sky hammer. Heh, being able to kill 100,000-year spirit beast at the quasi-spirit king level. Opportunities like this don't come often. You're a lucky kid. Douluo stepped forward and taunted. Enough talk, old poison. I'll trouble you to be my protector. Absorbing a 100,000-year spirit ring won't be quick. Chu Chen smiled. Once Douluo agreed, Chu Chen sat cross-legged. The blue-silver emperor unfurled around him, rich life energy rippling outward as tangible golden light. Great Desolation Scripture. Blue-silver domain. Chu Chen mouthed the name silently. With the combined power of the blue-silver domain and the Great Desolation Scripture, the domain instantly spread across the valley. The Great Desolation Scripture proved even more terrifying, its reach extending a full 1,000 meters. The life force of every plant in that area flowed into Chu Chen's body, and his physical form radiated a luminous sheen. Boom! Chu Chen's aura surged. After drawing on such concentrated life energy, he reached a peak state. Douluo stared in stunned silence as the vegetation around them withered rapidly. Is this an ability of the Blue-Silver Emperor? It just drained the life of all the surrounding plants? What a terrifying power. Except for the immortal herbs, every ordinary plant here has been depleted. If this battle had been in a forest, that kid would have a nearly endless supply of energy. Even as he marveled, Douluo kept a close watch on Chu Chen's condition. A spirit king absorbing a 100,000-year spirit ring was almost beyond comprehension. Any ordinary person trying it would likely have their body burst. Even though it was Chu Chen doing it, worry gnawed at him. Chu Chen, how confident are you? He asked. It's 50-50. If I fail, I'll die trying. Chu Chen unleashed the Blue-Silver Emperor completely and began to merge with the enormous energy of the 100,000-year spirit ring before him. The Blue-Silver Domain and the Great Desolation Scripture supplied him with a steady stream of power. Moreover, if his body were damaged by the violent energy, he could rely on the influx of life force to heal. Sigh, this kid is crazy, Douluo muttered under his breath. It looks like I'll be waiting a while. I'd better send word to Heavenly Du Royal Academy, otherwise that girl from the Ye family will worry, Douluo thought. Heaven Do City, Shrek Academy. When Ningfengji and Chen Xin arrived, they saw the wreckage of the academy, and their faces changed instantly. Fortunately, Ning Rongrong was unharmed. Rongrong, are you okay? Ningfengji asked. He'd never forgive himself if anything had happened to her. Daddy, I'm fine. That person wasn't after me, Ning Rongrong said, though her expression was deeply despondent. Watching Xiaowu, her daily companion, be taken away left her feeling hollow. What exactly happened? Tell us everything. The group gathered. Apart from Yu Xiaogang, now a one-armed hero, and Ma Hongjun, who'd become a eunuch, Dai Mubai, the most seriously injured, still lay in bed recovering. The others had avoided catastrophic harm. After they'd been brought up to speed, Ningfengji and Chen Xin fell silent. So that's how it was. They exchanged a long look before speaking. If that's the case, we can't help your academy. A 100,000-year spirit beast in human form has drawn attention. These words may seem harsh, but this is the way of the world. The attackers were after the 100,000-year spirit beast. Their target wasn't any of you, Chen Xin agreed. So they won't necessarily trouble Shrek Academy later. Try not to worry too much. Nevertheless, since this happened, I'll keep an eye on Shrek Academy's situation, she added. Ning Rongrong's eyes reddened. Grandpa Sword, can't you save Xiaowu either? Chen Xin shook his head. Rongrong, you must understand. On the surface were Douluo and another mysterious titled Douluo. Behind them was a concealed titled Douluo who grievously injured Tang Hao. Even without counting Douluo, they have at least 2 titled Duo besides him. With such force, we can't compete. None of them were naive. Chen Xin's reasoning was sound. Although it hurt them deeply, they could only accept that Xiaowu had been taken. If there were anyone to blame, it was the jungle law of their world. Behind the waterfall near Saint Spirit Village, the recovered Tang Hao led Tang San back to the spot. This is where I planted your mother, little San, and the spirit bone she left for you. But Chu Chen took it. I even suspected Spirit Hall at first. Tang Hao's face darkened with rage. learning his wife's resting place and the spirit bone were gone, and that the crucial opportunity of the Blue-Silver King had been seized, struck Tang San like a thunderclap. "Father, can my blue-silver grass never become the blue-silver emperor again?" Tang San's voice trembled. "There can only be one blue-silver emperor at a time, unless you kill Chu Chen," Tang Hao said, his cloudy eyes blazing with killing intent. But helplessness followed that fury. The hidden master supporting Chu Chen was terrifyingly powerful. A single strike had nearly killed him. If he hadn't used ring explosion beforehand to brace his body, he would have fallen on the spot. "Chu Chen, I Tang San, will never rest until you are dead." Tang San slammed his fist against the wall beside him. Tang Hao sighed and spoke gravely. "Don't return to the academy for a while. That person's target was Xiao Wu. Your friends shouldn't be harmed. From now on, you will cultivate the clear sky hammer. We'll make plans later." Tang San nodded with fierce resolve. At the Ice and Fire Yin-Yang Well, half a month passed. Douluo had grown used to the cycle of plants going from barren to full vitality as life energy was drained and then replenished, an endless, never-dying process. Is absorbing 100,000-year spirit ring really that difficult? He wondered. If not for Chu Chen's steady aura, he might have feared something had gone wrong. But he'd never attempted a 100,000-year spirit ring himself, so he didn't truly know. Boom! A tumultuous aura burst forth. The golden natural patterns on the blue-silver emperor flared intensely as life energy surged outward. Black, purple, black, black, red. When the fifth red spirit ring fully fused into the blue-silver emperor, Chu Chen's long-awaited breakthrough completed. After half a month of absorbing that 100,000-year spirit ring, he had finally stepped into the Spirit King realm. Great, finally succeeded. Chu Chen collapsed to the ground, exhausted. He had faced life-threatening crises repeatedly, had been pushed to the brink, then restored, teetering on the edge of collapse and rebirth. At last, he had absorbed his first 100,000-year spirit ring. Chapter 56, The First Trial of the God King of Life Complete, God King Affinity. Is this what a Spirit King feels like? Chu Chen stood up as his fifth spirit ring flared to life. My strength has leapt to another level, and I even have two such powerful spirit abilities. He signaled Douluo to attack. Douluo didn't hesitate. He swung his huge hand and launched a blow at Chu Chen. Fifth spirit ability, Void. Chu Chen's body instantly turned insubstantial, intangible. His outline blurred so much that Douluo's strike passed clean through him. What the? Douluo stared in astonishment, then reached out to touch him, finding no solid resistance. An intangibility skill? This rabbit's ring really is perverse. What about your 10,000-year ring's second ability? It's a mental attack, mental shock, Chu Chen explained. Originally, after Xiao Wu had supposedly sacrificed herself to Tang San, that second ability should have been the instant kill technique tied to Xiao Wu's spirit. But because he had killed Xiao Wu directly, that spirit didn't manifest in the usual way. The spirit ability reshaped itself. Charm is, after all, a form of mental assault, and when it merged into Chu Chen, it evolved into mental shock. Not bad, Douluo muttered. So that rabbit's ring not only gave you near invulnerability, intangibility, it also granted a mental attack. What about your spirit bone? And what level is your spirit bone now? Douluo pressed. Chu Chen checked his inner senses and answered, it should be at level 55, and its skills are. Before he finished, Chu Chen vanished from where he stood. He teleported behind Douluo and, meeting his stunned gaze, signaled him to strike with everything he had. Are you sure? Douluo hesitated. Quit stalling. Hesitation makes you my grandson. Chu Chen taunted. You brat, I'll tear you apart. Douluo roared, and his majestic spirit bone erupted in a terrifying attack. The blow alone would have killed an ordinary spirit Douluo. Chu Chen didn't dodge. His whole body blossomed with golden radiance. Paragon Golden Body. He bore Douluo's assault head-on and emerged completely unhurt. Douluo looked like he'd seen a ghost. Good heavens, this was absurdly powerful. Was this brat trying to defy heaven itself? These are my spirit bone skills, teleportation and Paragon Golden Body. They can each be used 3 times a day and provide absolute immunity to attacks below divine rank. Chu Chen gave a smug grin. What a monster. Douluo muttered. After that, the two sat at the Ice and Fire Yin-Yang Well and chatted. As Chu Chen settled, the life goddess's gentle divine voice echoed inside his mind. Chu Chen, you have completed the first trial of the Life God King's assessment. God King affinity increased by 5%. The second spirit ring's age has increased by 1,000 years. A new trial of the Life God King's legacy has been issued. Within 1 year, comprehend the blue-silver domain and complete its evolution. His second spirit ring had completed its evolution, its age rising from 4,000 to 5,000 years, and his God King affinity had risen to 5%. Is this what a divine trial feels like? Chu Chen thought. Just that instant when the ring leveled up made him feel refreshed. It seemed he needed to finish the Life God King's assessment before moving on to the Destruction God King's. But what if the two had to be done at the same time? That would be a lot of pressure. By the way, Old Poison, has everything been all right back at the academy? Chu Chen asked. Yanner says the Ye girl has been absent-minded lately. She probably keeps expecting you to return. Douluo smiled oddly. What do you think of my granddaughter? She's a pure maiden, and she inherited my good genes, looks outstanding. Other grandfathers fuss over their granddaughters, ready to throw down with any man who approaches them. But you keep pushing her away. Douluo laughed. I'm investing in my future. With your heaven-defying talent, it won't be long before you become a titled Douluo. By then, I'll have a strong backer. You old thing. Chu Chen couldn't help laughing. They drank, somehow got drunk, and slept until they woke naturally. After breaking through to Spirit King, Chu Chen planned to return to Heaven-Do Royal Academy first, and Douluo went with him. They came back to Heaven-Do City without encountering Tang Hao. I was worried that Tang Hao would lurk in the shadows waiting to kill you, Douluo said, but it looks like that guy was seriously injured. Douluo was also curious about who had helped Chu Chen that night. Two titled Douluo had clearly appeared, and factions with two titled Douluo were rare. Even among the upper three sects, the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School only had 2. The Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Clan had only 1. Before the Clear Sky sect closed, people only knew of 2 there as well. Could it be the Spirit Hall? Douluo's speculation wasn't baseless. He wasn't accusing Chu Chen of anything. He was just intrigued at how Chu Chen could be supported by such strength. This brat is hiding deep, Douluo thought, feeling pleased. If Chu Chen kept improving, Tang Hao would soon be the one who had to worry. Then Douluo would be able to brag everywhere. Chu Chen is my brother, who dares to mess with him. Back at the Heaven-Do Royal Academy, Chu Chen returned after more than half a month away. He soon met the Huangdo team, but teacher Qinming wasn't there. He'd gone to Shrek. Chu Chen hadn't seen him during the night's battle. Perhaps he had been away on some business. Forget it, Chu Chen thought. I don't bear him ill will, even if we now stand on somewhat opposite sides. At that moment, he saw a beautiful figure ahead. Ye Lingling wore white and had removed her usual veil. She smiled softly, like a spring breeze. The light in her pupils seemed to hold stars as she watched him quietly. Chapter 57, Nineheart Begonia. A ray of light reappears. This girl, I wonder how long she has been waiting here. Chu Chen quickened his pace, his swelling emotions tamped down by nervousness as he approached Ye Lingling. Chu Chen, you're back. Ye Lingling smiled, and she was completely different from before. The black clothes and veil that had once shut her heart away were gone. She wore a white dress that fit her true, gentle self perfectly. Sorry to keep you waiting. I just broke through to Spirit King while I was out, so I was delayed. Are you all right? Chu Chen said softly. Ye Lingling stared for a moment, surprised. He had already broken through to Spirit King. She felt a bit lost. The gap between them seemed to be widening, since she was still struggling to reach Spirit Ancestor. What are you thinking about? Cultivating the Nineheart Begonia is inherently difficult. Besides, do you really think I'd care about your spirit level? She asked with a small smile, trying to hide her unease. Chu Chen took out the wishful 100 treasure purse. Douluo had given him and withdrew an immortal herb that shimmered with crystalline light. He took Ye Lingling's hand and placed the herb into it. What's this? Ye Lingling turned the herb over in her palm and looked at him curiously. This is an immortal herb I picked for you, Chu Chen explained. It cleanses the marrow and strengthens the foundation. It also enhances your spirit power and healing ability. It's the most suitable herb for the nine-heart begonia. It was the very herb he'd selected at the Ice and Fire Yin-Yang well for Ye Lingling. With it, she should be able to break through to Spirit Ancestor without trouble, and the remaining medicinal energy would fully erupt once she obtained her fourth spirit ring. It must be very precious, right? Yi Lingling asked hesitantly. The herb looked extraordinary. She worried about the cost. Lingling, just accept it. My grandfather's herb garden has piles of these, Duguyan said, stepping forward to reassure her. Hearing that, Ye Lingling relaxed slightly. If Duguyan said so, it probably wasn't something she had to refuse. I picked it out specially for you. Accept it, Chu Chen added with a smile. Ye Lingling took the herb and thanked him with a grateful smile. At that moment, Yu Tianheng stepped forward. Chu Chen, I want to challenge you. If I win, I'll keep the captaincy of the Huangdou team. If you win, you take it. Yu Tianheng's eyes were bright with battle intent. There was no malice, only an eager desire to test himself against Chu Chen. Captain? Chu Chen frowned. He had no intention of staying captain forever. He'd taken the position partly for Ye Lingling and partly as cover for his own plans. Being tied down as captain permanently wasn't appealing. I know you're strong, and we all acknowledge that, Yu Tianheng said. I just want to see the gap between us so I can be convinced. Yu Tianheng's spirit level had already reached 40, and in the past half-month he had obtained his fourth spirit ring, becoming a spirit ancestor. Fine, Chu Chen agreed. The two flashed to the training ground. Yu Tianheng fought seriously, pouring out all his strength. 4 spirit rings glowed around him as the blue lightning tyrant dragon manifested, crackling with thunder. In Chu Chen's hand condensed a crystalline, brilliant blue-silver emperor, alive with golden textures and rich life energy. Then, as a red, 100,000-year spirit ring materialized, the surrounding space seemed to harden. The sheer weight of it made Yu Tianheng's breath catch. 100,000-year spirit ring. How did he get that? Yu Tianheng gasped in shock, but the battle fire in his eyes didn't dim. He knew this was a fight he was likely to lose. Chu Chen's willingness to go all out showed respect. That fact humbled him rather than discouraging him. He really isn't holding back anymore, Du Gubo observed from the sidelines with a smile. Going all out is itself a sign of respect. How did he get that 100,000-year spirit ring and those first 4 spirit rings? Duguyan watched in disbelief, astonishment lighting her beautiful eyes. He's simply a monster. Yanner, you should get close to him, Du Gubo teased, raising an eyebrow toward his granddaughter. Duguyan flushed, a rare, shy color rising to her cheeks as she watched Chu Chen fight. The spar didn't last long. Even unleashing the full power of his blue lightning tyrant dragon and transforming his limbs, Yu Tianheng couldn't match Chu Chen's strength. Chu Chen had given him a fierce, spectacular fight, but in the end it wasn't enough. Boss, are you okay? Yu Tianheng stumbled to the ground, defeated. 2 brothers hurried to help him up. Though exhausted, Yu Tianheng felt content. Haha, that was satisfying. Chu Chen, thank you for going all out. I, Yu Tianheng, am convinced, he said with a pale but sincere smile. Chu Chen returned the smile slightly. After the fight, he and Ye Lingling walked off together to a quiet spot. There, Chu Chen personally helped her refine the immortal herb. It's such a strange, wonderful feeling. An unfamiliar energy is pouring through my body, and my spirit level is rising fast, Ye Lingling exclaimed, pleasantly surprised. She had never experienced anything like this as a spirit master of the Nine-Heart Begonia. Keep your focus. I'll help you refine it, Chu Chen reminded her softly. Ye Lingling replied, trusting him completely. The refining took several hours. The Nine-Heart Begonia in Ye Lingling's hand bloomed, its petals glazing over with crystalline translucence that refracted brilliant colors. Chu Chen sat across from her and studied the plant. After absorbing the immortal herb, the Nine-Heart Begonia seemed even purer. Compared to before, there seems to be an extra thread of golden pattern. Is it my imagination? The 9-colored radiance faintly has a new ray of light, Chu Chen murmured, wanting to lean closer to examine it. At that moment, Ye Lingling opened her eyes and saw him leaning in. Her heart fluttered like a startled deer. She grew nervous and looked away. You, she stammered, biting her lower lip. Then, to Chu Chen's astonishment, she leaned forward slightly. Her lips brushed his before she pulled back, as if she'd been shocked. springing to her feet and standing there, cheeks flushed and shy. Chapter 58, Sacred Flame Lion, A Chance Encounter in the Stars. Qian Renche? I couldn't sit still. Yilingling's face flushed and she looked achingly cute. Ever since the day Chu Chen had suddenly appeared in her world years ago, he had occupied a permanent place in her heart. Her heart had always been small, so small it once held only herself, but Chu Chen had opened a crack and filled it. That was enough for her. A heart doesn't need much space. Having found this, she felt lucky. After a brief moment of stunned silence, Chu Chen's gaze heated, and he pulled Ye Lingling into his arms. His slightly awkward embrace made them both flustered. They looked at each other and laughed at their own foolishness. Chu Chen, my 20 has increased to level 40, and I feel it will rise even more after I get my fourth 21, Ye Lingling said, overjoyed. Such a huge improvement would normally have taken her ages, but the immortal herb had this kind of effect. It wasn't just 20. The change seemed to touch her physique and even her spirit. The full effects, of course, would only be clear once she obtained the fourth 21. I'll take you to get your 21 in 2 days, Chu Chen promised. The immortal herb's boost was too valuable. He had to seize this opportunity to reach the spirit ancestor realm as soon as possible. Okay, Ye Lingling smiled sweetly. The next day, Duguyan also broke through to level 40. Since Chu Chen had helped her control the jade phosphorus snake poison earlier, Hirsch 20 had already been at level 39, and now she finally pushed through to 40. Look, the little girl from the Ye family has broken through too. Perfect. Let's set off together. Dugubo approached and suggested they travel as a group. Chu Chen and Ye Lingling agreed. With Dugubo holding the rear, they'd have extra security. They rented 2 carriages in Heaven Dew City and set out for the Star Dew Great Forest. A day later, the 4 of them entered the forest. Tell me, Chu Chen, aren't you worried about that Tang Hao? Dugubo asked under his breath, clearly still uneasy about Tang Hao as a threat. Don't worry, that senior who secretly helped me last time severely injured Tang Hao, Chu Chen signaled for calm. He had seen the battle up close. The final strike had come from the broken void realm. If Tang Hao hadn't been under the absolute amplification of his ring explosion, that blow would have been fatal. Even so, Tang Hao was left critically wounded. Those injuries would take a very long time to heal. Seems you've drawn attention from others. Otherwise, why would a mysterious expert step in to help you? Dugubo teased. Chu Chen fell silent. He didn't know when he'd crossed paths with another expert and planned to investigate when he could. While they searched for 19s, they chatted to pass the time. No matter what kind of 21 the 9-heart begonia absorbs, it always develops healing type 28 abilities, Ye Lingling explained. That's a spirit trait that can't be changed. Still, when choosing 19s for it, we pick ones with healing properties. After all, healing type 19s will definitely produce healing type 21s. That way there's a chance of greatly enhancing the 9-heart begonia's healing ability. If it's just to get a 21, you just need to find one of the right age. Chu Chen had a thought. In that case, if the 9-heart begonia absorbed some plant-type 19s with healing abilities, could its spirit evolve? For example, my blue-silver emperor evolved somewhat after absorbing the first 4 21s, he added, thinking of the golden natural patterns that had gradually spread over his spirit. It's hard to say. I haven't heard of that happening, Ye Lingling admitted, puzzled. Spirits have infinite possibilities. Who can predict everything? Dugubo chimed in. They pushed deeper into the Star Dew Great Forest and soon found a 1000-year 19 perfect for Duguyan. It was a snake-type herb with potent poison, ideal. Chu Chen sent out the blue-silver emperor. Second deprivation, the blue-silver emperor struck, draining the 19's life force. The herb withered, left so weak it could only be finished off by Duguyan. As Duguyan absorbed the resulting 21, Chu Chen, connected to the blue-silver grass, sensed something off. Wait, he stood and activated the blue-silver domain. Something was approaching fast, headed straight for them. The incoming presence was powerful. This 19 was no light threat. It must be 10,000 years old, if not more. Old poison, something's coming, Chu Chen warned. Dugubo's brow tightened as terrifying 20 condensed in his hands, ready to strike. At the moment Dugu was absorbing a 21, there could be no mistakes. Even 100,000-year 19 would have to be blocked by them. "Stand behind me," Chu Chen told Ye Lingling. "Okay." She nodded, steady-eyed. If a fight broke out, she would help. The ground trembled. A moment later, the mountain in front of them shattered, and a crimson gold mane lion burst through the rubble. It was wounded, but radiated an aura that could split mountains. "This is a sacred fire mane lion. Its cultivation must be 50,000 years," Chu Chen said in shock. It possessed sacred and fire attributes, and its own 25 was vigorous. A 50,000-year sacred fire mane lion was not to be underestimated. Damn it, of all things to run into. I'm not afraid of it, but if it disrupts Yanar. Dugu cursed inwardly. There was no choice. Chu Chen released the blue-silver emperor. It tore up from the ground and wove through the air, and he used 26 on the sacred fire mane lion while preparing another move. Fourth 17. Life Enhancement. The blue-silver emperor, its form blackened, unleashed its full power. Hardened to the extreme, the spirit exerted direct control over the sacred fire mane lion. A golden sword light slashed down from the sky, and a breathtaking figure descended. Two others followed close behind. The woman caught sight of Chu Chen, and her expression shifted instantly. Chu Chen's expression changed too. Wasn't that Qian Renshui? Holding a golden sacred sword, angelic wings unfurling on her back, her temperament was otherworldly. Though he'd never seen Qian Renshui's true form before, he recognized her in an instant. Chapter 59. Joining forces to kill the sacred fire mane lion, Tian's killing intent surges. With a single look, Chu Chen and Qian Renshui recognized one another, but they both pretended not to. The sacred fire mane lion continued to roar violently. Chu Chen erupted with the blue-silver emperor once more, and together with Dugubo's jade phosphorus snake emperor poison, bound the beast in place. Seeing Dugu calm and unaffected, Dugubo finally exhaled. If Qian Renshui and the two figures behind her hadn't suddenly appeared to repel the lion during its earlier frenzy, that berserk aura might have been enough to shake Dugu. Angel Spirit, with two titled Douluo beside her, what is her relationship with the previous Supreme Pontiff, Qian Shunji? Dugubo's face grew grave as he watched the trio warily. He recognized Qian Renshui's seraphim spirit. Such a unique spirit stemmed from Spirit Hall. Clearly, she was from Spirit Hall. "Thank you for your help. Otherwise, this sacred fire mane lion might have tried to run again," Qian Renshui said as she landed before Chu Chen and Dugubo. Her gaze paused on Chu Chen a beat longer than polite, then slid to Ye Lingling at his side. Perhaps it was a woman's instinct, but Ye Lingling felt as if Qian Renshui had been watching Chu Chen. "So this was the spirit beast you three were after?" "Don't worry about it," Chu Chen replied. "Don't be so sure. It's not dead yet." Porcupine Fish Douluo, standing behind Qian Renshui, warned them. The sacred fire mane lion was flaring sacred flames all over its body and, with a sudden surge of violent energy, was close to breaking the restraints. "If I may ask you to finish it for me, if this mane lion makes a last struggle, it could interfere with your partner's absorption of Herf." Qian Renshui held her sword and spoke calmly to Chu Chen and Dugubo. Chu Chen and Dugubo exchanged a look and agreed. This sacred fire mane lion, bearing both sacred and fire attributes, would be perfect for Qian Renshui's seraphim spirit, and it was hardly likely to escape three titled Douluo. Jade Phosphorus Domain. Dugubo unleashed a 33 that radiated deadly poison, wrapping the sacred fire mane lion as Chu Chen expanded his life deprivation magnetic field. The blue-silver emperor blossomed to bind the beast. Still, the lion's power was immense. Its sacred flames were no ordinary fire. Though the blue-silver emperor had fire immunity, the sacred energy threatened to overwhelm it. Pillars of flame shot up as the lion made a desperate last stand, turning the area into a sea of fire. It even trampled the flames as it charged toward Qian Renshui and Chu Chen, trying to force a gap to break free. From the horizon, a snake lance of golden light slammed down and pinned one massive paw to the ground. With the lion's anguished howls, Dugubo and Porcupine Fish Douluo condensed corrosive poison and began to eat away at its body. "That's Snake Lance. It's the man in black who helped Chu Chen that night." Dugubo's pupils narrowed as he recognized Snake Lance Douluo, yet he didn't expose them. Instead, he flared as a titled Douluo and pressed the siege tighter. Under the combined assault, the sacred fire main lion quickly lost the strength to resist. It's almost time. Excitement shimmered in Qian Renshui's eyes. This was her seventh 25, perhaps her most important one yet. The sacred fire main lion, with its sacred fire, was an ideal match for her seraphim spirit. She stepped forward to deliver the final blow. Thank you, all of you. After thanking Chu Chen, Dugubo, and Ye Lingling, Qian Renshui gripped the angel's sword and drove it through the lion's throat, ending its life. In the Void Realm, Di Tian's expression went cold. Watching Dugubo and the others besiege the spirit beast triggered a monstrous rage inside him. His dragon claws shimmered with golden light. He wanted to strike, but he held back. The sacred fire main lion had been singled out. Its fate was sealed with or without his interference. I cannot act yet. If the Soul Beast clan intends to wipe out humanity, we must endure. He forced himself to suppress the killing intent. The Silver Dragon King's voice then echoed in his mind. Di Tian, continue to follow him. It is not yet time for him and me to meet. Reluctantly obeying, Di Tian concealed his presence and watched from the Void Realm as the sacred fire main lion was slain. Everything was decided. After the kill, Qian Renshui immediately began to absorb the 2025 on the spot to avoid complications. With two titled Douluo acting as guards, she could do so safely. Meanwhile, Duguyan's absorption had reached its final stage. Chu Chen, Ye Lingling, and Dugubo stood watch. Before long, Duguyan completed the absorption and her 23 advanced to rank 41. Grandpa, what happened here? Duguyan asked, bewildered as she stared at the traces of the fierce battle. After others explained, a wave of lingering fear washed over her. Since Yaner has finished absorbing her 25, let's leave this place, Dugubo suggested. Although they were currently on peaceful terms with the three from Spirit Hall, he still harbored deep distrust of Spirit Hall and wanted to put distance between them. We should indeed go. Chu Chen's face suddenly hardened. He released his 13 into the surroundings and his blue-silver domain spread outward. Then, shockingly, his 13 was blasted apart. An incredibly terrifying aura was closing in, precise and purposeful, heading straight for them. A powerful being is approaching. We must leave. For the first time, Chu Chen's expression was so grave. Dugubo did not delay. Trusting Chu Chen absolutely, he moved without hesitation. You two, find a way to leave. Chu Chen shouted in a low voice, warning the two titled Douluo, Porcupine Fish, and Snake Lance.